The Falcons are on the edge of something huge, a move so bold it could flip the entire NFC South upside down. We're talking about a defensive shakeup that could finally fix their biggest weakness. Two superstar corners are suddenly in play, and the Falcons are in the middle of it all. If they make this deal, it could change everything, but if they don't, it could haunt them for years. Falcons fans, this is the moment we've been waiting for. Let's dive in. Strap in, Falcons fans, because this offseason might be the most important one in years. Atlanta is staring straight at a turning point. A blockbuster move is on the table, one that could totally transform the defense and launch the Falcons right into playoff contention. This isn't just about adjusting the depth chart. This could be the move that sends shockwaves across the entire NFC South. We're talking about a major change in the secondary, and there are two elite cornerbacks in the Falcons' sights. These are the kinds of players that make opposing quarterbacks nervous before the game even starts. They don't just defend, they dominate. Let's be honest, Atlanta's pass defense in 2024 was painful to watch. Sure, we saw flashes of hope on offense with Michael Penix Jr. bringing excitement to the field. But the defense, especially the secondary, it was falling apart game after game. It felt like watching a roof leak during a thunderstorm, and no one had a bucket. Quarterbacks shredded the Falcons' defense all season. Mike Hughes battled hard, and A.J. Terrell? He's still a lockdown star, no doubt. But the depth behind them? Thin. Rookies like Xavier Watts and Billy Bowman Jr. gave fans something to hope for, but expecting them to start on day one next to Terrell is asking too much. Even undrafted rookie Kobe Bryant turned heads at camp, but let's be real. He's not ready to face monsters like Devontae Adams or CeeDee Lamb just yet. And the numbers prove it. The Falcons ranked 27th in the NFL in pass defense, giving up over 242 yards per game through the air. That's not just a bad stat. That's a red flag. That's a team begging for help in the secondary. But now, an unbelievable opportunity has opened up. Two veteran cornerbacks, both former Pro Bowlers, are suddenly available. And these aren't just any names. These are leaders, game changers, mentors, and they could be exactly what this young Falcons defense needs to become dangerous. Terry Fontenot and the Falcons front office are deep in the hunt. Other teams are circling like sharks, waiting to pounce. Time is running out, and if the Falcons want to save their season before it even starts, they've got to move fast. Let's break it all down. Who these stars are, why they'd fit perfectly in Atlanta, and what could happen if the Falcons don't make a move. First up, a Super Bowl champion with swagger. This guy is a 7-time Pro Bowler, a 3-time first-team All-Pro, and one of the most feared corners of this generation. Jaylen Ramsay. He's not just good, he's elite. With 24 career interceptions and over 100 pass breakups, Ramsay is a walking highlight reel. He doesn't just guard receivers, he erases them. His name hit the trade block back on April 15, 2025, and now the Falcons are right in the middle of the talks. Could he be the missing piece? If the Falcons land Jaylen Ramsay, could this be the defense that finally puts Atlanta back in the fight? Or will they let another golden opportunity slip away? Let me know in the comments. Do you think the Falcons should go all in on Ramsay? And rate your confidence in the Falcons secondary from 1 to 10. I'm reading every single one. So, why is a superstar like Jaylen Ramsay even available? Well, his current team down in sunny South Florida, they're ready to move on. They want to get younger, save money, and rebuild. And after June 1st, trading Ramsay becomes even easier financially. For them, it's a business move. But for Atlanta, it could be a game-changing opportunity. If the Falcons can put together the right trade offer, just the right mix of draft picks and assets, Ramsay could be walking into Flowery Branch ready to lock down half the field from day one. But this move isn't just about stats. It's about chemistry. Ramsay already has a strong bond with Falcons head coach Raheem Morris. They work side by side in Los Angeles, building a championship defense together. Morris knows exactly how to bring out the best in Ramsay, how to unleash his toughness, his elite press coverage, and his mind games that bait quarterbacks into awful throws. Just picture it. A.J. Terrell on one side, Jaylen Ramsay on the other. Quarterbacks won't know where to throw the ball. And with that kind of coverage in the backfield, the defensive line finally gets time to crush the pocket. That's not just an improved secondary, that's a message to the whole league. Atlanta's defense is done being soft. It's ready to dominate. But there's a catch. Ramsay isn't 25 anymore. He's 31. And yes, injuries have popped up. He's missed games here and there, and that might scare off some teams, but not the Falcons. They believe in his leadership. They trust his playoff experience, and they know this locker room needs a voice like his, someone who's been to the top and can teach these young DBs how to win. If Ramsay ends up in red and black, the NFC South better be ready, because the Falcons' defense could go from vulnerable to vicious in a matter of weeks. Now let's talk about option number 2, the shutdown artist with something to prove, Jair Alexander. When he's healthy, this guy is a nightmare for wide receivers. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler, a player who can take the best receiver on any team and erase him from the stat sheet. But here's the shocker. He was just released by his old team in Wisconsin after another season full of injuries. That move sent shockwaves across the league. Because when this guy is on the field, he's one of the best corners in football. Simple as that. So why is he still a free agent? Injuries. He's missed a lot of games and some teams are nervous. But Atlanta? They smell opportunity. The Falcons see a chance to grab a top-tier talent for a discount, a motivated star who wants revenge and redemption. And here's why Atlanta makes sense for him. He'd get to face his old team twice a year. And you know he'd circle those dates in red. He gets a fresh start with a young defense that's hungry for leadership. And most importantly, he gets a chance to remind the whole NFL who he really is. This guy's still in his prime, and he's got a chip on his shoulder the size of Stone Mountain. Put him next to Terrell. Suddenly, Atlanta doesn't just fix the secondary, they build a top-5 unit. Raheem Morris runs an aggressive scheme. Heavy man-to-man coverage, physical play, tight windows. That's exactly what Jair does best. He's quick, he's smart, and when he's locked in, he's a turnover machine. Yes, the risk is real. His injuries are a concern, and Atlanta would need to manage his snaps, be smart with his workload, and keep him healthy. But the reward? It could be a defense that nobody wants to face. So here's the question. Falcons fans, which cornerback would you rather have? Jaylen Ramsay or Jair Alexander? Drop your pick in the comments and tell us why. And while you're at it, rate your confidence in Raheem Morris turning this defense around. 1 to 10, let's hear it. But let's be real. The reward here is massive. This move could give the Falcons something they haven't had in years, a defense that actually matches the offense. Michael Penix Jr. is rising. The weapons are there. The offense has the firepower to compete. But to make a real playoff push, they need a defense that can hold the line, force turnovers, and shut down the league's best. And now, the big picture is starting to come into focus. This isn't just about fixing the secondary. This is about a franchise at a turning point, a moment where everything can change. Penix Jr.'s arrival has breathed new life into the offense. He's given fans hope. But Raheem Morris is quietly doing the same on the other side of the ball, building a defense with speed, aggression, and identity. Now imagine adding a true shutdown corner to that vision, a leader, a playmaker, a game changer. This could be the final piece of the puzzle that turns Atlanta from a rebuilding team into a real NFC contender. But hold on, it doesn't stop here, because there's another storyline heating up behind the scenes. One that could shake this roster at its core. It involves a veteran leader, a heated position battle, and a decision that could divide fans for months. We'll dive into that next time, and trust me, you do not want to miss it. But right now, let's stay locked in on the secondary. Picture this. Week 1, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The crowd is electric, the stadium is shaking, and the defense locked in, ruthless, fearless. A.J. Terrell and one of these Pro Bowlers are barking at wide receivers, flying around the field, picking off passes, and setting the tone for a season that could take Atlanta deep into January. That's the dream. That's the goal. And now, it's up to the Falcons front office to make it happen. So let's hear it. Falcons fans, should Atlanta go all in and trade for the Super Bowl champ, or play it smart and sign the hungry free agent with something to prove? And what about that mystery storyline we teased? What do you think it is? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell us which move you'd make, who you want locking down the secondary, and what you expect from this defense in 2025. This offseason is heating up fast, and we're just getting started. Rise up, Falcons fans. Things are about to get wild.